And we had a visual encounter with, the only way I could describe it, it's like a giant radio antenna. But this antenna was as high as we were. We were at 35,000 feet at the time. And it had strobe lights. It was stationary. And I was the first one to see it, simply because it was just right at our 12 o'clock position, so straight off the nose. Yeah, close enough that we were getting nervous. Shortly after, an American Airlines flight from the south asked the same questions. They made a call to air traffic control and said that we see the same thing. And they were coming from the opposite. So they were south of the object, we were north of the object.
Oh, that's interesting, okay.
So two different perspectives, same story.
Watch all of this video to find out why these pilots rule out conventional explanations and what happened when they reported this to the FAA.
Goodnow and his pilot take evasive action.
They are an aircraft that is not super highly maneuverable, it's not responsive, it's not nimble. It's designed for comfort and safety, not to take evasive maneuvers and pull a 5G turn and avoid a collision.
We did get a vector off course from air traffic control because we didn't want to hit this thing.
That's interesting. What was their reaction when you radioed into air traffic?
I don't know if he understood what I was asking for, because usually when we ask for radar vectors, it's because of weather.
What was the atmospheric conditions at night?
Clear skies.
What was your visibility?
Clear in a million.
I got to ask the obvious question. How do we know that maybe it wasn't just ambient light in the cockpit?
Sure.
That was reflecting off of the cockpit window, and that's what you're seeing?
One of the first things we did, we actually turned all the lights, interior lights in the cockpit down to make sure that we could debunk any ambient lights that we were seeing reflecting off the windshield.
Copy.
And when we turned all the lights down, that's when we were able to get a good look at the lights in front of us that we were looking at.
Some folks may ask, okay, maybe they're helicopters.
First of all, I know that helicopters just can't get up to 35,000. Conventional helicopters just can't get that high.
Sure.
And I ended up querying air traffic control about it. And air traffic control contacted Nellis Air Force Base Approach Control because we were close to their airspace.
Nearby Nellis Air Force Base confirms they have nothing on their scopes. But then, another airplane radios into air traffic control.
Shortly after, an American Airlines flight from the south asked the same questions. They made a call to air traffic control and said that we see the same thing. And they were coming from the opposite. So they were south of the object, we were north of the object.
Oh, that's interesting, okay.
So two different perspectives, same story.
At any time, were you or the American Airlines or air traffic control able to get a radar hit on this thing?
None.
Were any reports filed?
I did file something, never heard back. And I hear from other pilots that did the same thing, that's kind of a common thing. When you make these calls or you file these reports, there are never follow-ups.
Thanks for watching this video. Click here to watch our playlist of short, credible videos covering all aspects of the UFO phenomena. And make sure you subscribe to catch the new content posted every week.